Scott, are we sure this is not an episode from Batman Brave and the Bold?
Or even Batman 66. I was wondering if this episode was the way I remembered it.
Oh boy,
I
man.
think it was even worse than I remembered it. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, watching this as an adult is something. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to DC Fan-imated. Yeah, we kind of predicted we were going to have fun talking about this episode last week when it was like brought up, and we both didn't really remember too much about this episode. But anyways, welcome to DC Fan-imated. I'm of course Dave the Film Junkie. With me as always is Mr. Scott McClellan. How you doing, sir?
I didn't mean to.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
The return of Baby Doll. I take it you don't have a drink on hand.
I need one, but I wanted.
I'm like, it's Wine Wednesday.
God, I really should, but I wanted to be able to make it through the episode, without falling asleep. So I was like, maybe I already had a beer at lunch. That was indicative of my week. I've had a beer at lunch every day for the past 3 days. So I'm abstaining.
Okay.
Right now, just saying.
Good. Power to you. Power to you. But yes, guys, we are now back in Gotham City, and of course that's excited me last week. But then watching this episode, I went, okay, we're back. Uh-oh. Looks like we lost Scott, or maybe me. Uh-oh. Something happened. I don't know if it's my internet connection. Well, everything else seems to be good. TV's working. That's good working. This is actually perfect right now, because now, like, if you're watching it live, Scott's his frame turned into basically just like hey, it's just gonna circle. So I'm not sure if it's something that happened with him or with me. This is just gonna add to like the weeks we've been having. Kind of curious. I'm like kind of wondering, like, whoa, what happened to Scott this week? Yeah, it's usually a work thing. Work thing, you know. But yeah, we're going to be talking about Love is a Croc, and yeah, obviously the word croc, you can understand that. And this is just like this, how this week is going, huh?
I just decided I need to go ahead and leave before we even get started. I just felt like
I know you didn't pixelate, but you just.
Oh no, that was me. Just so the audience knows, on my end, you were frozen.
Yeah,
and your voice sounded like, you know, one of those 80s 90s sci-fi movies when the computer is like, you know, and then I couldn't get back in. I'm like, even StreamYard doesn't want us to talk about this episode, apparently. I don't know.
Apparently, jeez. But yeah, I mean, before that happened, it was just kind of I was just saying, going, we're back in Gotham City, which is great. We love Batman. We love Batman so much. And yeah, going back to Gotham City, we have an episode like this. And yeah, we predicted that this was going to be one of those. And
well, we knew. We've seen these episodes.
Yeah.
It's like we remember that. I didn't remember exactly how this episode ended. And that was even more ridiculous. Like the fact that I didn't remember what the third act of this episode was.
Yeah.
Was just like, when I got to it, I was just like, this is how this episode is wrapping up.
So as you could tell, that Scott and I are not really
fans of this episode.
Yeah, we're not really. We're not going to give like a glowing review about this episode, because yeah, it's just like I just kind of go, okay. So the writers, I'll give it to the writers. They went, hey, how could we take two of Batman's like rogues gallery? I mean, how could we take like characters that we've seen before in the series and put them together, like the two most craziest opposite characters that we can, and put them together, even though there's like they do have a similar trait of, which is what they try to establish at first, which you kind of go, yeah, okay. But then when it actually starts getting into the team up, you go, oh, yeah.
Okay. There was an effort made.
There was an effort.
There was an effort made. I'm not going to lie. But just like Batgirl says in this episode, what do they do on a date? And Batman's reaction
also says is like, I don't know if I'll get the smell out of my fucking nose. Yeah.
But Batman's reaction, I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
It's just. I mean, I think it's weird too. I'm not sure if you picked up on this, but for both Baby Doll and Killer Croc, these were new voices for both characters.
I was kind of wondering about that, and I don't know if they're actually voices that we know. I mean, Croc sounded like Jesse the Body Ventura. That's what he kind of sounded like to me. I don't have time to believe.
Yeah, the actor's name was Brooks Gardner. Not really that familiar. However, although she's not the original voice of Baby Doll from the original appearance, the voice of Baby Doll in this episode technically is a name.
Really? Who?
Yes. Lorraine Newman.
Sounds like it would be a name.
Well, here's why.
Okay.
She's from the original cast of SNL.
Oh, no shit. Oh, okay. So you had Gilda Radner, and she was the other female.
Yes. Yes.
And then we had Jaden Curtin, too. Can't forget about her. Because there was like, what, 3 females in that first cast. Dude, I could totally see her face because I'm like visualizing that first cast. Was Jane Curtin part of it? Right, she was part of it, or did she come later?
She was later.
Part of the Weekend Update.
Well, and she was Coneheads.
Yeah, but I was like, yeah, because I'm trying, because I got pretty obsessed with SNL at first, and I had this book. There was a book in my library at, I think it was in high school, and I freaking checked it out. I remember I actually read I looked through the whole thing when I first saw it. I don't know how I found it. It was on the shelf, and I found it, and I was like, oh shit. And I remember sitting in the library of my school, because it was just one of those things where I was supposed to be researching a paper, and instead I was just going through this Saturday Night Live book, because I was like, oh God. But I remember like that first cast shot, so I know exactly who you're talking about. Holy crap, it's her.
Yeah, now the cool thing about her is that if you don't pay that close of attention, she does a really good job of sounding like the original Baby Doll voice actress.
That's what this episode has going for it.
That is what this episode has going for it. Killer Croc sounds absolutely nothing like the guy from the original 2 seasons.
Well, that's why I said he sounded like Jesse Ventura to me at times. I was like, what? I was like, is this Jesse Ventura? No.
So that was one of those like bridges. And like we talked about when they changed the Scarecrow voice actor.
Yeah.
That worked because of the redesign of the character. And it was a different design. I filled you in on that cool backstory. So you're like, oh yeah, cool. Like we'll go with the new voice. I wasn't digging the new Killer Croc voice because it just sounded like a completely different character. Yeah. Like I don't
even try.
Right.
Not even try. Yeah.
This does not sound like the kind of guy who would say, I threw a rock at him.
Yeah.
It was a big rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like they were just like, hey, you sound like you would be a man / crocodile. Go for it. But again, she did sound like Baby Doll. And like I said, like when this episode first starts off, I mean, we get an episode we show like a black and white little episode where she's used too much bubbles in her bath, and the parents come home and it's a cartoony, the front door bursts open and she's like, and there's bubbles and I didn't mean to,
Right. The beginning of this episode was one of the parts of the episode, really the only part of the episode that I distinctly remember. I remember her being the desk clerk, probably also the owner of the hotel that she's working at. I mean, because she clearly lives there.
Yeah.
Based on the evidence that is shown a few minutes later. And I like the way the episode begins, because
it does begin strong.
It does begin strong because, once again, when you saw what happened, because we've only seen Baby Doll the one time in her one episode, and the way that episode ends, I mean, the way
mirror.
that episode emotionally almost destroys us at the end of Baby Doll, it was encouraging. I think it was good character development to show that she was rehabilitated, seemingly. She's running her own business. She's adapted to life with her condition. I liked that. And you get the asshole tourist who
drunk.
Oh yeah. He was drunk off his ass.
Oh yeah, it's his wife like kind of like holding on to him, bringing him in, and then do you have the key? And he's like, and then of course it's like, okay, you got to find the key, and then of course has to stand on a stool because she's very little, and then moves the stool, tries to find the key, and then all of a sudden he's just like, hey, you're somebody. Wait, and then he recognizes her, and then that's got to be like the worst thing that she would ever want, is somebody to recognize her, especially if they're drunk.
Well, because he is obnoxious.
Oh yeah.
He touches her. I'm like, dude, you're going to lose. You're lucky you didn't lose a hand. I mean, what drives Baby Doll, it's like they give her a great Breaking Bad motivation. I mean, you can imagine this being a very emotionally triggering event.
Oh yeah.
That would push her back into her life of crime. Because you also got to remember, in Baby Doll's first appearance, her entire motivation was revenge against her former cast members from the sitcom. She didn't go off and just rob banks and do big heists. Her plot was a simple revenge plot. And I think you have to carefully construct an episode to bring her back when her entire motivation as a character is no longer the driving force. And triggering her with this asshole who is bringing back up the sitcom stuff, doing it in a very disrespectful and obnoxious way. I mean, she even brings up the fact that she tried to kill Batman. I mean, it's just, he doesn't just cross the line. He hopscotches over the line.
Oh yeah, he takes a giant leap over that line. And go ahead and exit out and come back in. You're pixelating, of course. But yeah, I mean, when this episode starts, you kind of go, oh, well, here she is. And you understand where she's coming from. So this is probably the best part of the episode, is this interaction right here.
Absolutely. So when she goes nuts on him, frankly, I feel she's justified. It's like
he slams his head into the check-in book kind of thing and just kind of slams it into there. Yeah. And then she goes into her room and she's like obviously living there, and then turns on the TV, sees an episode like all this stuff with her, and then of course she comes across, hey, there's a trial happening with Killer Croc.
Was it weird to you that the judge called him Killer Croc instead of referring to him as Waylon Jones? I feel like
that's a little unprofessional.
I was like, no. And dear God, cool sequence of him ripping out of his straitjacket. Because Killer Croc should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Those poor orderlies who tried to restrain him. What were you? What are you thinking? The dude just ripped himself out of a straitjacket. You pasty white boys ain't gonna do anything to this guy.
No way it's gonna happen. But and I always love it too. They always have like the one guy, and they always got to do that movie trope thing. It's like, well, I got the shot, so I got to like squirt a little bit out just to let you know that there's like liquid in here. And they always
okay. The movie trope is how much they squirt. That does serve an actual medical purpose.
Because you're supposed to, isn't there? Okay, what is the purpose?
To get the air bubbles out.
That's true.
Because if you inject an air bubble,
you're gonna fucking kill the person.
You're gonna kill the person. Yes. So you clear out the air bubbles, because if you can get the stream going, that means you've blown all the air out. So it serves a purpose. Now but a real doctor isn't going to be like,
yeah. But of course, Batman, he was already on call. He knew. He was probably like, you know what, I should probably be around for this. And sure enough, he had to intervene into this, and then of course takes him on after Croc is just like going onto the streets and just basically just wiping out anybody who gets in his path. And I love the fact that when Batman throws a batarang and Croc just like catches it in his mouth and then chews it up, spits it out. Again, the beginning of this episode, not too bad. There's some cool things, but it's when the team up really happens where we start going, oh boy.
Well, okay. Because, my point was that the motivation for Baby Doll, for her to break bad in that moment against the customer, completely justified. Psychologically, I could see Baby Doll being pushed to that. Killer Croc gives a rather impassioned speech in front of the judge about, prejudice. I think that's bullshit on Killer Croc's part. I really don't. I mean, at this point, I'm sorry, dude. You have no sympathy. I mean, after he turned on those ex circus freaks, in that one episode, it's like, no, you got.
There's no sympathy over here.
There's no sympathy here.
Yeah, because we get it. Like, you are very unique. You're one of a kind, and people aren't going to accept you, and they look at you as a monster. Yeah, I could find sympathy for that. But when you
are a monster, that's the problem. You act like a monster.
It's like you can't just keep running with that. And with Baby Doll, but it's so funny. She got there pretty quickly. She was like, she showed up at the scene of Batman. Yeah.
22 minutes. 20 minutes. I mean, because at least they didn't do that stupid movie TV trope where somehow she was able to watch all of this fight on television, even though it's like, where's the camera that's actually like filming all of this?
Because like there was like one cameraman outside of the courtroom, and Killer Croc threw somebody into it. So it was just like it was done. So
that I did appreciate.
See, we're finding the positives.
We have to. I mean, it's not a good episode, but it's not a complete pile of dog crap.
Yeah.
But and then the next, okay. Here, another little nitpick though. Like after Batman kicks Killer Croc's ass and injects him with whatever sedative it is that they're using throughout this episode, they arrest him.
Yeah.
Where do they take him?
I don't know where that is, but he is just in a tank.
They give you an establishing shot. It's in Arkham.
It is in Arkham.
But the problem is, Croc wouldn't be in Arkham.
Yeah, because he's just a fucking criminal.
Right.
He's not fucked in the head where he needs psychological help. Yeah.
Right. He should be in Stonegate, which is where they've shown him before. Like even that episode with the circus freaks, he was being transferred from Stonegate to upstate.
Yeah.
And then, now granted, in this episode, what are they doing? They're going to transfer him from, Arkham to upstate. Stop trying to transfer him to upstate. Shit goes wrong when you try to send Killer Croc upstate.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't be in Arkham.
Yeah, he wouldn't be. You're right.
Arkham is not the appropriate institution for him. So I got a little bit of a nitpick about that. But
didn't think about that. Yeah.
While he's in Arkham in the giant tank, the scene where Baby Doll comes in as Mary Louise and brings him the chickens, and
that's where it just starts falling apart, because like she's literally like just throwing whole chickens, and he's just going not
even chewing out the bones. He swallows it, bones and all. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I like the way she presents herself as Mary Louise. I like, kind of like there needed to be, here it is. There needed to be more setup.
Yes.
All those crazy serial killers who get sent to prison, there are still desperate people who write them and try to have a relationship with these people for one reason or another. And they've established that Mary Louise feels like she has a connection with Killer Croc based on that cockamamie, do you have anything to say before the court? Speech that he gives that we're calling bullshit.
People don't accept me because of how I look.
Right. Oh, no, I think it's the multiple attempted murders and the robberies that have caused people not to accept you. But, let's not talk about that part.
Semantics,
right. So I just feel like the basis for the relationship for Baby Doll, because it's very clear how Killer Croc doesn't feel towards her through this entire episode. He sees her as a meal ticket. That is made very clear, and I appreciate that. But I feel like it undermines Baby Doll's character, the way she just goes all in on Killer Croc without more time to develop where this attachment comes from.
Yeah, because after we see all this and feeding the whole chickens, and then of course how he gets broken out. I mean, this is actually kind of like, naturally, if they're going to be transferring him and he's all locked into the armored truck and everything, obviously, if she's going to play the role of, I'm a kid trying to grab a ball in the middle of the road, obviously it's late at night on this hilly road, it doesn't even make sense. But at the same time, you're not thinking that when you're driving.
No, you see a little girl and you're going to swerve.
You're going to swerve, you're going to crash, and that's what happens. And of course it works perfectly fine. Cool. And then I love how she, even when she was trying to live the straight life, she still had this toy gun that, suction cups to your head when she shoots you with it, which we've seen those guns, but then it's attached to a wire that shocks you.
Right. It's like, where did this come from? Like,
been working on this for a while being the front desk of this resort. Okay, cool.
Okay. And here's also, we're gonna get a little personal now. I feel like, Dave. So just brace yourself.
I will
suck it up a little bit. But what's with the role play that's how I'm going to refer to it. What's with the role play here, where she goes full on like, precious, I'm Baby Doll. I'm just like, what?
This episode would have been better if Baby Doll didn't act like Baby Doll.
Yes,
that's what it would have made this, because like you said, she goes all in on. It's like you've seen this trope before in like sitcoms or whatever, where like the little girl gets attached to like the older, you know, kid or something like that, has a crush. Oh, you're my boyfriend kind of thing. They go so hard with the whole, yeah, like you said, she calls him precious and all the, and it's, you know, we're going to be together forever and blah, blah, blah. She just, it's almost like, were they thinking like baby doll, since she was trying to be an adult so much that she just wants to be that? I don't know. It's so cringy. Where even Croc is, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I actually went to a sicker place than that. It's like, I think about,
yes,
I think about, okay, I'm going to go here. Just audience.
Go for it. I think I know where you're going.
Okay. There's a certain contingent of pornography out there.
Yes.
That really plays. I mean, even if they're not doing a creepy pedo thing of dressing like little girls, you'll still have grown-ass women who put on that voice and does like the, oh yes daddy, and like and I'm just like, no, this is not attractive to me, like, whatsoever. And I find it a little, I know I'm not a woman, so I mean I can't, you know, I'm just saying from a man's perspective.
Yeah.
I don't find that attractive.
No.
I don't find that sexy. I am not turned off. I'm actually repulsed by that kind of, like, when they go into that high voice and they say like, oh daddy, and it's like,
yeah,
no.
It's like when you'll see like models that like that dress up big time, like these like anime type of schoolgirl kind of stuff.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, I mean, I get it. It's not illegal because they are like 20 something years old, but
they are of age.
Yeah, they are of age, but they have like the young looking face and they're doing the whole thing and they do the makeup stuff. And I'm like, I see that and I go, no, that's just no. That's just it does not. So we're on the same, you know, we're good. We're on the same path. We're like the same, where we don't appreciate that. And yeah, when it comes to what is happening here, you kind of get that little bit of a vibe. And you just gotta go like, and this is where things just start. Not to mention, we didn't even talk about the redesign of Croc. Doesn't look really that great.
No, it does not. No,
the old Croc looked fantastic. This one, it just, you know, when it comes to the redesigns, this is one of the ones that misses. Yes,
the old Croc. You know, his arms were like strangely longer. You know, the way that his lip would kind of curl up, and he had like those teeth, and like he looked more caveman, like Neanderthal in the original design. And I liked the weird pale blue color of his skin instead of them going just super on the nose crocodile green on this redesign.
Yeah, it's not a good redesign. It definitely isn't. But when we're in the Croc layer, and then all of a sudden we see like, hey, let's bring out some newspapers to show that, hey, they're the new Bonnie and Clyde. If you look closely, there's like a thing where like on the side it says Superman's hands are full.
What? Like, because Croc says, hey, even the out of town rags.
Yeah,
and it's the Daily Planet.
Yeah. So I mean, that was kind of funny, but then of course she was like freaking out about, oh yeah, Bonnie and Clyde, so romantic kind of. It's just like when she's it's when the whole thing of like her
Bonnie and Clyde ends.
Yeah, that's not really that. It's not a good thing. Doesn't end great.
Great movie, by the way. Great movie. Yeah. Watch that movie, but that is not a relationship to aspire to.
No. And then so then we're just getting a real sense of all, and this is where you're just going, huh? Like the whole time I'm just going, oh God. Yeah.
She's acting like that.
Yeah.
All the time. So it's kind of weird because Croc is an asshole. Okay. He is using her. He knows that she is actually emotionally attached to him. And he is that deadbeat boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
That is just, but yet I want to look at Baby Doll and go, girl, woman, not girl, woman. You're a grown. I mean, you may be
Not a
small in
grown
stature,
woman, but you're a woman. Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, she is matured mentally.
Yes.
So in that sense, you're a grown ass woman.
Yeah.
Act
What are you
like
doing?
it.
Yes.
What are you doing?
And I think that would have benefited with this show, but they really wanted to emphasize. I don't know, maybe because they were thinking, oh yeah, because kids are watching this, so let's. I don't know. It was just, yeah, when it's so fucking cringy. It's so cringy the way that she acts towards him. It's just so cringy.
Right. Now, well, by the time this episode was airing, we were like 14. Yeah. We were 14 when this episode was coming out. And so it's no, not 14, 16. I was doing my math wrong. So when we were 16, I will admit that I wasn't looking at the relationship with the dynamics that I'm looking at it now as a 40-something.
Yeah.
But it was still, it was cringy for a different reason when I was 16, because it's just kind of stupid when you're 16.
Stupid. But now it's stupid and it feels so wrong.
Wrong, right? Yes.
Yeah. So, so we get all that, and then we get Batman and Batgirl on the Bat boat, just obviously trying to find them because all their heists have been around water naturally. So they're on the water looking around, and then is that where we get? Is that where they get the line where she goes, "What do they go on a date?"
What they do on a date, and Batman's like, "I don't even want to think about it."
No, nobody wants to.
Okay. So I'm going to ask a really disturbing question right now.
Oh God.
Do we think they had sex?
I hope not. No. I knew you were going to go there when you said that. I was like, because you're.
But they even kind of like. But even the episode kind of like leads you to like.
Yeah, God. What does his thing come out of like a slot? I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, and it's really and because she is body developmentally still a child.
No. I mean, I don't think hopefully it hasn't gone that far. I know. It's like one of those things when you're an adult, you start doing that. And especially when it's insinuated where Batgirl does ask the question, what do you think? And then Batman goes, I don't want to know. Because yes, as an adult, you go, nope. Don't even want to think about that. And it's sad that you have to, because at the same time, you're going, oh, this is just a Batman. This is just a team up. We don't have to think of it like that. But at the same time, look what they're giving us. It could have just been Baby Doll just acting like an adult and not acting like a crazy, you're my boyfriend forever kind of thing. They could have just leaned into the fact that she was just still had the mindset of not that. They totally missed with that, because now it just gets you. Here we are. 40-year-old men questioning.
And I feel like it undermines the journey her character took on her original appearance.
Exactly. Like she didn't grow up like thing, you know? Oh man. All right. We're getting through it, guys. We're getting through it. We're getting to the part where both of us are nauseous, but
you know what? Maybe this makes good content. I don't know.
I mean, I think it is. People are watching this like, you're going to get canceled 10 years from now.
We're talking about, I'm waiting to get, I'm expecting to be canceled by tomorrow. You know?
There you go. Yeah. Look, you see what these guys are talking about? No, this is a cartoon, folks. Anyways, we didn't write it.
We just watched it.
Yeah, we just watched it, and now we're just commenting about it. Yeah, or doing commentary about it. But and then of course their next heist is going to be, there's a casino cruise that's happening naturally. That's good. And again, this is where you would say that this stuff kind of shines, because given it's like, okay, they show up. Obviously, Croc is going to be, in disguise as much as he can.
I mean, a trench coat and a fedora. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's usually how it is. That's what his disguise usually is.
yeah.
But I'm just saying, you have the distraction of baby doll who looks like a little kid chasing like a little ball. So that's going to distract the one female guard that's like right there, that's guarding the cashier of
Okay,
the.
good. Okay, there is a part of me though that appreciates the fact that they have a female guard being the one to manhandle the little girl, and
Yeah.
it not be like a grown man who's manhandling. Like at least there was some sensitivity like there that I appreciate. But the plan is solid because once again, kids aren't allowed on a casino floor. Like that's like a legitimate plot to have for
Yep.
this heist. I liked that.
Yeah. But I mean, but all of a sudden, when Killer Croc starts, he rips the guy out of the cage. Yeah, well, you better pull that gun out and start firing. You know what I mean? Because you ain't stopping that. I mean, not even a man's gonna stop that because he's so strong. But yeah, but then of course she has, her little toy ball thing is like a smoke bomb, so that's gonna do a thing. Again, she has these crazy toys. She has these toys,
Where does she get all those wonderful toys?
Yes, I mean, seriously. The toy maker, maybe, I don't know. But well, so then of course Batman and Batgirl find, they're like, oh wait, something's happened on that cruise ship. Obviously, it's like, all right, they're on the water, cool. It does make sense. And then so then they show up, but then of course taking on Croc is not an easy task. He's throwing things, he's throwing card tables, craps tables, freaking
Spin the wheels,
in the
roulette,
wheel stuff.
the roulette spinny thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
So yeah,
yeah,
he's not easy to take down for sure. And then of course she has not only a smoke bomb ball, she has explosive jacks.
those I think she just stole from the Joker.
Yeah, it just seems like that's a lot of this stuff seems like Joker toys, if you think about it. But yeah, you have like the jacks, which that was a game. I remember as a kid going, really? That's what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to bounce a ball and grab these sharp, like, object. I mean, these toys. Do they even sell? Yeah, right. How sharp were those fucking?
Oh my god!
Jacks?
Well,
Yeah.
of course, the purpose is how many can you grab
So you're
before
gonna
the ball
grab them
hits?
quick?
Yes, I know.
They're not. It's not like you're grabbing something that those things could stab your hands. I mean, I'm not saying they're gonna draw blood, but maybe if you do it hard enough, they could draw some blood. Again, hey, I mean, toys even before we were born were
Weird.
crazy. But our parents brought those toys into our lives. I remember Jax, and I remember my parents go, oh, this is the whole thing of that. You're supposed to bounce the ball, and before it bounces, you grab as many as possible. But it's like these things, if you throw them at somebody, they're gonna hurt.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember playing it at my grandparents' house.
Yeah.
It was in their game
That's the
closet.
thing. Also, it's mainly grandparents that were like, "Hey, I got some toys for you." It's like, whoa, really?
Yeah. I mean, those are the things that our parents played with.
Yes.
And so it was at our grandparents' house. Weird thing. We
But then
digress.
Again, it made us tough. We have calluses on our hands now.
Oh my god, sorry, I have a tangent. Did you see the Instagram reel I was sharing on social media last night?
No, I don't think I saw it.
Oh
No.
my god. It was just this idea of us being like tough and like, us being the old farts that we are.
Yeah.
There was an Instagram reel of someone taking a clip from Mad Men and having the caption Gen X manager talking to Gen Z employee. And it's Don Draper blessing out. It's John Hamm to Elizabeth Moss. And it's like this is how it works. I pay you money, you give me ideas, but you don't say thank you. That's what the money's for.
I think I've seen
if you need a good laugh, find that.
I've seen that used in like a different context, but that's so good because it's true. Because like nowadays, it's like a thank you. It's like, we thank you by paying you. It's like, yeah. I mean, I work as all the jobs I've worked. I don't expect my boss to. I mean, yeah, bosses will be like, thank you, thank you, thank you. But at the same time, it's like, well, he's like helping paying me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
the
I work
thank you
for
is when you give me a raise.
exactly.
I'm just gonna be
Or
honest.
a bonus or something like that. It's like I don't need any kind of these the gratitude for that. If I do my job and I'm still working here and you're still paying me, guess what? That's good enough for me.
There's your old fart tangent for the
There
week.
we go.
You're welcome. All right.
You're welcome, everybody.
Batman and Batgirl getting their asses kicked because Killer Croc and Baby Doll either have brute strength of toys, they get the money, they dive off into the river, but Batman's able to literally follow the money. They followed the money, just like Deep Throat said. Not the Deep Throat we were talking about earlier. I'm thinking about All the President's Men. Okay. Richard Nixon, everybody. And they follow the money and they watch him go into a pipe so they at least know in what general direction to track.
But it's not easy because second day, this is where Batgirl comes in and goes like, this is like day 2 of like trying to find. And then she goes, I'm not going to be able to get the smell out of my costume or my nose.
Yeah. Now, before, however, we cut to this because they've spent 2 days searching the sewer. In that time, Croc is so pissed off about this.
Oh God!
About this casino cruise going wrong that he decides to go for a night on the town. Which, once again, I like this in that yes, this is what a piece of crap Killer Croc is. Now, having 2 ladies like that all over him, clearly he's got to be paying them. They're clearly ladies of the night.
What the hell? I mean, that's one of the things that I was like going, really? I mean, I get it's like Croc's like coming out. Maybe they're all drunk. I mean, he's clearly had a few.
He's got lipstick kisses all over his face.
And I'm like, really? What woman would want? He's scaly skin. Like, what
if you're getting paid,
yeah, I guess so. You're gonna play the part, but even then, I'm going. There's got to be a line.
Not well. Some people, mileage varies.
Not in Gotham City.
In Gotham City, mileage may vary. So at least Baby Doll followed him this time.
Yeah.
Because it gives her character a little bit of agency that she's just not this victim who's always waiting at home for pejoratively her man to come back. I mean, she knows something's up and she tails him and she catches him in the act of being with, I'm sorry, let's call it spade, 2 hookers. Like that's just what it and clearly they're going to go off and have a threesome. This episode is dark beyond any belief. I mean,
this is they're again, the writers were going, what the fuck? I don't know. Yeah, it's oof.
But okay, so this is the part where it's like, okay, if she's so emotionally distraught over the betrayal from Killer Croc, they needed to do more to establish some sort of emotional resonance, at least on her part.
Yeah.
We didn't see enough. Here's what it is. We didn't see enough of their home life.
Yeah. Where it would warrant this. Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. And then that's where we, of course, then of course he's like sleeping on the couch very uncomfortably. It looks, it doesn't even look
holding a bottle. That was weird. That was a choice.
Yeah. And he's just kind of like, not even like laying down. He's just kind of like, I don't know. It was kind of looks uncomfortable. I'm like, when I fucking fall asleep on a couch, I'm flat. I'm like, maybe turn to the side, but he's just like, he's a big dude, and he's just kind of
he's splayed. He's just splayed all over that.
Maybe because he's super drunk. Maybe that's what it is.
Probably.
But then, of course, she wakes him up, does and still just a weird. Anyways, and then talks about the big job that's gonna, of course, give them as much money where they could just live happily ever after. So of course we got then that little next job, and then that's where we get Batman and Batgirl coming in, and they find the lair, and of course looking around, and then they find, and I again very much on the nose, where it's like Batman, detective work, finds just a crayon drawing of their next
what drawing?
Wasn't it like a crayon drawing?
Okay, it sounded like you said a crown drawing, and I was just
probably did at first, but when you said that, I was like,
how
wow,
much
I gotta
drinking
emphasize the Y. Sorry.
Crayon, yes, there was
crayon, not the crayon.
But once again, why is Baby Doll making her evil, schemes in Crayola? I'm just like,
again, it's just like one of those things. They are relying heavily on her just acting like a
child.
Yeah. And they don't need to do that. They just didn't need to do that here. They could have, the episode could have benefited on her acting like a child when it was needed for the heist and breaking Croc out. But for some reason, they wanted to be, no, she's a child throughout now. They established her right at the beginning, and they threw that out. They were like, this is where she's at. Now you feel sympathy. Okay, cool. But then all of a sudden they bring in this, and then it's like, we have to emphasize that she is now a child for the rest of the whole goddamn episode. And it didn't work. It just doesn't work, because it's like, he finds the plans, and it's written, it's drawn in crayon, and then it's just kind of like, oh yeah, the nuclear plant and blah, blah, blah. And then of course you find the doll that ends up blowing up, which cool. That's fine. Totally get that. It's fine. And, they dodge it by jumping back into the dirty ass sewer water. But I know. Can you imagine having to do that? You have to submerge yourself. Ugh. Oh. Yeah. Especially after what Batgirl said about the smell.
Exactly.
But yeah. So then we have that. And then this is where we get to that power plant. And this is where we're going to start going into the clip. And I love how the power plant very much is I don't know, when I see this shot right here, especially the opening of it, I'm like, is that Edward Nygma's fucking
from Batman Forever?
Yeah. It's like, wait, you got the spotlights going on and shit. Yeah.
I mean, the cooling tower looks like a nuclear power plant, but the interior looks nothing like any nuclear power plant I've ever seen.
No, I mean, it's like Hardak in here, or what are you doing here?
It almost looks a little bit like a weird Hardak Brainiac combo going on here.
See, and then she's still acting like the child.
So now what? We call the cops and demand a payoff, right?
No, we don't do anything.
See, here.
What?
Right there, when she starts acting like an adult.
The Cupid doll knows all about your little excursions down to the
when
docks.
her voice drops.
I won't let you betray me again.
See?
When the reactor reaches critical mass, you and I will die together and take all of Gotham with us.
Cynical.
I know. We needed that throughout the episode.
Shut this thing
but
down,
once again, I don't feel I don't feel the justification for the emotional attachment where she is going to
kill them both
and irradiate Gotham City.
Yeah. There's no reason why she needs to do this.
I mean, she's crazy. She's gonna nuke the whole thing.
Oh, Croc's like, hey, I'm innocent.
And Batman's like, no, you're still a piece of shit. No, I'm
like, no, you're not. I'm still gonna punch you very much.
Stop it.
In a minute, you'll either know or won't care.
Okay, so once again, we're talking about the fact that somehow Mary Louise knows how to overload a nuclear reactor.
Of course.
Remember, she's a has-been TV actor. Batgirl, yes. Batgirl, I could believe, could.
Yes.
It's Barbara. But baby doll, how does that work? I mean,
yeah, they were like too heavily on just like suspending disbelief here. Oh, that's gonna play a
yeah.
Emphasize that.
Yeah, there's a Chekhov's gun I've ever seen.
Yeah, exactly. Ah, yes, I'm angry.
You're gonna blow me up.
I will chase you and rip you to shreds. That's gonna work going up a ladder. Okay.
Okay, baby. Now we'll play my kind of game.
Okay, the
God, that voice sucks.
shot.
Good job, Batman. Yeah, rescuer. Oh. But now you're gonna get your ass even more beat by the big Croc dude. All because of this one. And then, of course, that.
Well, here's the weird thing. Like, why is it electrified?
I know.
It's an ejector gun.
Oh, they had to add a little bit more drama to it, right?
No.
That's what they had to do. That's what they did. I remember this part like vividly. I was like, oh yeah, his fucking
The ears are metal.
Like,
you know.
Yeah. That was the part that I remember the most out of this episode.
See, for me, it was the hotel scene at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
This whole nuclear power plant storyline, I completely forgot about.
Yeah,
Because it's
so
kind of
did I.
stupid. I mean,
It is dumb. No! Hot pipe! That's what takes out Croc. Hot pipes.
well, no, the boiling hot water. I mean,
Yeah.
at least if you're in a nuclear power plant, having boiling hot water and pipes logistically makes sense because it's cooling it's cooling the rods. And then it just ends.
That's it. That's it, guys.
What did we just watch, Dave?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I love this series, but there are episodes like this that go, they're not all winners.
Yeah, I mean that's what we've had them before. There's not many. Not
No.
many. The percentage is still very good. It's still awesome. But yeah, we'll get these where you just go.
We'll have. I mean, we'll get mid episodes every once in a while.
Yeah,
but it's very rarely we get a stinker.
Yeah,
this is a stinker.
Yeah, and it was just started off strong. And then, and for some reason, they just went full on. Like, okay,
they lost the thread. They lost the thread.
Totally did.
And the nuclear power plant, that just was like you just went way too far. Like, this is not the power couple that you end up having a murder suicide with a nuclear power plant. I mean,
if they were going to do like if they were emphasizing the whole Bonnie and Clyde thing, they should have had something where, not like it was going to end like Bonnie and Clyde, obviously, but maybe something where there would have been like some kind of standoff with the cops and all. I don't know. They could have had something, but you're just going to go with the whole nuclear power plant trope. Like, no, like,
no.
Doing?
But no, and you bring up that would have been a great way to end the episode. You're like, maybe she rats him out to the cops. They get stuck in a standoff. Like
it should have been something. If you're gonna bring up Bonnie and Clyde, try to end this in a way where there would have been something where
maybe reminiscent.
Yeah.
Don't end it the way the movie ends. Which, once again, if you've not seen the movie, dude, guys, watch the movie. It's a great movie.
Let's just say if you go to it was a Warner Brothers that made Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, because it was Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway.
That's right. Faye Dunaway.
And Gene Hackman.
I think on the Warner Brothers tour, you do see the car with a bunch of bullet holes in it. Yeah. So, yeah, I think on the Warner Brothers tour, you do see the car. They have it displayed somewhere.
I would believe it.
Yeah. I think when I went to the tour like 2 years ago, I was like, I think I saw they have that. I think they have that, or was it somewhere else? I don't know. Anyways, but yeah.
But you're right. It's a Warner Brothers movie. So.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it was the Warner Brothers tour where you actually see their car and the for the standoff. Anyways, but yes, they should have just leaned into more of that. I don't know. It just seemed like one of those, hey, let's take two characters and let's pair them up. And it seemed like it was going to work at first. And then it just falls apart.
I think, okay, here's the thing that happens in season 3 overall. I mean, there are some amazing episodes in season 3. I mean,
Growing Pains, the last one we talked
Growing
about.
Pains was fabulous. You know, we have coming up one of my favorite episodes of the entire series coming up in a few weeks. But overall, season 3 went so hard into like the comic book action that this season on average lacks the psychological depth that those original episodes had.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Good point. Good point. So there you go, guys. There is
that's an episode that we watched.
That's an episode we watched. Love is a Croc, and so is this whole episode. Not a whole episode, but the episode. It's a Croc. And sadly, with strong outings of the first appearances of these characters, not good with
think about that. Think about Vendetta.
Yeah, Vendetta, and then think about when Baby Doll
and Baby Doll, like that was the name of the episode. Those are.
Think about that last scene when she looks at herself in the mirror and sees herself as an adult, physically.
Yeah,
and all that, and then the way that the whole episode was great, and to have them team up like this, oof. Thank God it's over.
Yeah, I know.
What do we got next week?
Well, hold on. Before I talk about next week, I wanted to end on a positive note.
Oh, yay.
I have a new acquisition I wanted to share.
Uh-oh.
I know. And it fits the theme of the stream.
Oh, he's pulling something up. You never know what's gonna happen when he pulls things up. Oh, look at that. Oh, Bill. Look at that. Love it.
Oh, no. Oh, wait. There's more.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I know it opens. Yep.
The steering wheel
turns the wheels.
Not only does the steering wheel turn, if you remember back in the original series, the steering wheel would come forward once he sat in the car.
Oh, love it.
And then I still need to put some because it fits 2 figures. So I bought a Batman and a Robin to put into the car.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
To put some double A's, and the dashboard lights up.
Yeah, it all lights up. Oh, God.
Lights up. Oh, yeah.
It's such a beautiful design.
I love this Batmobile. It is such a good Batmobile.
It's probably my favorite. I mean, it's just.
It is my favorite.
I think it is. I mean, it's hard not to love it. I mean, I think it's just because how many times have we seen that beautiful shot of it going down the tunnel with the lights just streaming over it? That shot in the opening, it's just so beautiful. I mean, you see the exhaust, the fire out of the back, and it's whoosh, 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 and it's just.
I'm sorry. There is a part of me that because I watched so much Batman 66, I see that and I just go, atomic batteries to power, turbines to speed.
All right. No. So what do we got next week?
Next week, we got a new villain. First appearance of a new villain for next week. So the episode is Torch Song.
Torch Song? Nothing is ringing a bell.
Okay, but it's a new villain. And think of the title.
Torch Song? Torch Song?
Yes.
Yep, nothing is ringing any kind of bells. New villain? Like nothing that's been in the comic books?
No, been in the comics, but new to the series.
Okay, so if it's Torch, it's fire. Well, yeah. Okay,
yeah.
Firefly. Okay. Yeah. All right. I was like, Torch Song? That doesn't even make sense. What does that even mean? Oh, wait. Not a new villain when it comes to just like new because just there. No, it's a villain we haven't seen in the animated series. Okay, Firefly. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad we clarified because seriously, I was here going, you're emphasizing the wrong word.
I know.
buddy.
I'm thinking of like the second word more than the first, and I'm going, huh? But wait a minute. Oh, you said okay, torch, fire. That makes sense. There we go. Things are now starting to. My brain's going. Oh, it's somewhere in here. It's starting to like go back. Okay, well, we'll see what happens when we watch the episode. So yeah, that'll be hopefully a palate cleanser.
It's I remember the general premise of the episode.
I'm trying to.
It's going to be stronger than this one, I can guarantee.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. So there you go, guys. We'll be watching that for next week. So tune in to that. And this was, as much as we didn't enjoy this, I always love it because we're almost an hour into this. I mean, usually the episodes we don't like, we talk about it more because there's something
more to discuss.
Yeah, there is more to discuss. Sure.
The good ones, it's like it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. We just agree, and then Batman does this and it's did that, and we go yay. But man, when it comes to the ones that we're going, we start, especially when it comes to one like this. Yeah, we end up talking a little bit more about it because we have thoughts.
There were some weird thoughts. We had some weird.
Yeah,
this is going to make an interesting YouTube short, Dave. I'm not gonna
know.
lie.
I need to. For sure. Oh man,
it might get banned on YouTube. I'm not sure.
I'm almost scared to even try to think about what would be that.
Talk about violating community guidelines.
But anyways, we appreciate you guys sticking with us, whether you're watching or listening. Always fun. Scott, go ahead and plug away on anything you got going on.
Okay. Well, of course, you can find me on Twitter, X at ScottDC27, on Instagram at McMerlin, and on Vero at Scott McClellan. I want to plug a couple of future appearances I'm going to be making. I've mentioned it before on the Vodka stream, but make sure that you are subscribed to the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network, where I will be appearing on the 99th episode of Chris Balga's World's Finest True Believers, where we will be discussing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers The Return by Amy Jo Johnson. Really great. Check it out if you haven't read it already. And also, I was asked to make a small cameo in the 500th episode of my friends Frank and Tim's podcast, Beer with Geeks. So make sure that you check out both those shows. And of course, you can find my podcast, the DC Squadcast, wherever podcasts can be found. We're on Vero, Facebook, YouTube, with the entire network of shows at squadcastmedia.com. I hope to record, when I get a chance, a review of season 2 of My Adventures with Superman, because it was fire and I want to talk about it. So that's probably going to be showing up with the YouTube channel. And I may or may not record my review for Deadpool and Wolverine, which I'll be seeing twice, once tomorrow and once on Friday. But I'll definitely be here for the Vodka stream, to be here for the spoiler chat.
Hell yeah. Talking about spoilers on Friday. That's going to be a lot of fun. And we have a guest too, which will be interesting too, to talk with her about. So, all right, guys, hit that like, thumbs up. We appreciate you. We'll see you next week on this very program. And yeah, we love you, and we will talk to you later.